Hey guys, today I have for you an over-the-top 4th of July totally glam look because if you're gonna wear blue eyeshadow, when better than the 4th of July, right? Think about it. If you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching, and if you like it, click the like button and feel more than free to subscribe. I'm going to start with eyeshadow primer. This is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance because it is what I always have. Just putting it all over. Let's go ahead and draw in my brows so that I have just a little bit more definition to be working with. I'm using the Anastasia Perfect Brow Pencil. This is in the shade Dark Brown, which is a little too dark for me, but I got it in gratis, so I didn't get to choose my own color. To start this dramatic blue eye, I'm going to go in with a blue base. This is the Steely Style Color Lock eyeshadow pencil in Space Case, and I really, really like these as bases. I'm just going to draw this directly onto the eye, starting in the outer corner, coming up through the crease, and then coming into the inner corner. And then I will use a brush. This is just a random, vaguely fluffy brush from Sonia Kashuk. These were never named. Just going to start blending out the edges of that a little bit. Take some more on the brush, deepen up this color. This is just plotting in a general shape. It does not have to be perfect, thank God. I'm going to run just a tiny bit of that right under the eye as well. Just while I'm here and I have it ready. Now that that's plotted in, I'm going to take a warm-ish brown transition-y shade on a fluffy brush, and I'm going to start to blend out the edges just a little bit more. Not that this is going to blend super well, but just so that I have something to blend a blue shadow into. Then taking a pencil brush, I'm going to go in with a blue shade. This does have a little bit of shimmer in it, shimmer, matte, kind of your preference. I'm going to put that here in this outer corner, and start to fill in all of this blue. And pencil brushes are not blending brushes, but if you take more pressure where you want it to be more colored and then slowly let up the pressure so that by the edge you're barely touching your skin, it does do a little bit of the blending for you, just so that it's a little easier in your next step. This specific shade of blue is called Nautica by Makeup Geek, by the way. Sets down, I'm going to go in with a blending brush. This is the Sephora Pro Blending number 27, and this is just totally clean brush. I'm going to blend out the edges of that just a little bit around where I'm keeping the center of my eye color-free. And then I'm going to go back into the other fluffy brush that I was using to blend out the outer edge a little bit more. Then I'm going to go in with the same pencil brush. I'm going to go in with black. This is the black from Makeup Geek, and it is so black. You do not need very much of this at all. So be very light-handed, and I'm going to do pretty much the same placement that I've been doing, but keeping it ever smaller and ever with a lighter hand. I'm seriously just barely touching my skin because you don't want a giant big black splotch. It's going to be really, really hard to blend out. You can kind of blend it as you go. For me personally, I feel like it's so much less stressful. I'm going to bring just a tiny bit of that down onto the very outer part of my lower lash line, so that it all ties together. And then I am going to bring just a little bit of the black into the inner corner as well, but I'm not going to build it up nearly as dark. And then just with what's left on my brush, I'm going to connect those two through the crease. Again, just barely touching. Hardly making a difference, but this is a game of tiny shades, so that's okay. Can you see the difference that the black has made? It's not necessarily black, but it's a lot more intense. And then my fluffy brush with a little bit of that transition shade one more time, just to make sure that the edges are still relatively smooth. This is not like the softest gradiented look you've ever seen. There's going to be an obvious end to the blue, right? But hopefully no harsh lines at least. And then for the fun part, I'm going to take some Too Faced glitter glue, which I just got in gratis. I'm very excited. I keep meaning to buy this, and I just never got around to it, and now I don't have to. And I'm going to take just one eye at a time because I don't want to run out of time. I'm going to pat that in the center of my eye where I have hopefully more or less kept it blue free. And then I'm going to take the Makeup Geek loose pigment in Sugar Rush. This is one of their duochrome pigments that they came out with last year, and I lost my mind over it. It's so pretty. And I'm just going to take that on my finger and just tap it right over top of that. Seriously, it's so beautiful. Look at it. Oh my god. I'm finally going to sacrifice this clean brush. I'm going to tap just a tiny bit of this onto it so that it's not just completely clean. I'm going to, again, just blend the edges right there. Getting just a little bit of this onto that blue so that it fades a little more evenly. It's so pretty. I can't even handle it. I cannot handle how fucking beautiful this pigment is. It's amazing. It is finally time to clean up this fallout, thank God, because it is driving me crazy. I'm just going to take a little bit of Nivea cream on a Q-tip and basically just use that like cold cream. And hopefully it works. So I'm just putting it on with one end of the Q-tip and then rubbing it off with the other. Now that I look all sunburned, I promise I'm not, I'm just rubbed all of my face off. I'm going to take a little bit of concealer. If I can get this concealer out, good lord. This is Laura Mercier High Coverage Concealer for Under Eye. I'm going to take that on my trusty fluffy concealer brush. There is no way this is the right consistency. Jesus. See how thick this crap is? That's insane. That's not a good idea for my dry under eyes. But the coverage is crazy. I seriously just barely tapped this on here. It looked like there was nothing on my brush. And look at that. Okay. Can you see how little there is on there? It doesn't feel like there's hardly anything on there at all. Here it goes, just covering up everything. Trying to combat some of my biggest areas of redness with this concealer before I put on foundation. Because I would like, with this heavy an eye look, I would like a pretty full coverage foundation, but I always feel like I end up having redness left around my nose no matter what foundation I use. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this concealer to help fight that back a little bit early on. Okay, now that I've basically just covered my whole face in this concealer from Laura Mercier, so that's fun. Next I'm going to take Born This Way from Too Faced, and this is in the shade Snow. I have a problem called there's eyeshadow on the back of this hand, which is normally where I put this, so I'm not really sure how this is going to work out. I'm going to add 2 drops, that is not liquidy enough, of the Cover FX Custom Cover Drops in 25. Just because I want to make sure that this is enough coverage. Hopefully, I put this on and I go, oh dear God, why is there so much coverage on my face? I have to do this and then put it back in my hand. That is silly. Oh well. I'm building up just a little bit more coverage through the center of my face because yes, I want that full of coverage today. So I'm putting it on with a beauty blender because I feel like that keeps it from getting too cakey or obvious anywhere. It just keeps the texture prettier. Now let's set everything down. I'm going to start with the Laura Mercier Under Eye Setting Powder. I'm going to take that on my beauty blender on the tiny end. This is probably going to be way too much powder, but that's okay. And then I'm going to take the Too Faced Cocoa Powder Foundation Powder. I'm going to take that on the beauty blender as well and just tap that over the rest of my face. I told you, I'm going for full coverage today. Why is my white balance so weird right now? Let's put some dimension back in my face. I'm going to go in with the Sephora blush in Tranquil, which is not a blush, but they didn't separate out any of their products in that line. It was really weird, so that's fine. I'm just going to contour right there. Besides, I haven't contoured in a while. I've said that was too cool toned. It's not. That's what contour is supposed to do. Then I'm going to take the same line, this is from Sephora, this is 24 Los Cabos, which is one of their bronzer shades. I'm going to take that everywhere that you take bronzer, but most specifically across the top of the forehead, because I feel like my forehead gets huge, and also because that is where I get hit by the sun the hardest for sure. I'm going to take that kind of as a blush slash bronzer, because I don't really want to put a color on my face. I mean, another color on my face. I feel like I have plenty of that already, so I'm gonna kind of use that as a blush slash bronzer. Then with a clean part of my beauty blender, I'm gonna kind of go over the edges of everything that I just did, so that hopefully nothing looks crazy. For lips, you could go safe and you could use a nude, which is probably the correct choice with this, but the 4th of July is all about red, white, and blue, right? So this is the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in Outlaw. I'm just gonna go for it. I love how easy these apply. Just straight from the doe foot, it's so simple. I'm gonna add a second thin coat because I feel like it gets a little pink by the end of one single coat. Okay, at this point I'm feeling like this brow needs a little bit more definition. It's a heavy look like this, everything needs to be super defined, so I'm just going to build this up a tiny bit more. And that means it is time for lashes. Looks like this just don't look finished without mascara and giant fake lashes. So let's start with curling my lashes. Then I'm going to put on just a normal, nothing special mascara. This is Clinique. I'm going to wear these. These are the Ardell 138s. They don't have a name, but can you see they're a lot longer in the middle. And these are like so black. These lashes are not screwing around. Lash glue. I really like the lash glue in the tube. Because this right here, the like being able to just paint it on, makes my heart so happy. Once it starts going just a little bit clear, let's do it. How'd I do? How'd I do? Did I do okay? On my first try, it came off. Did not wait long enough. Okay, let's try this again. I need my mirror so much closer. There we go. Once the glue is dry, I'm going to go in with this cageless curler from Tweezerman. And I'm not going to really try and curl anything, but I do just want to make sure that my lashes and these fake lashes are, you know, kind of on the same plane. All kind of fully emerged into each other. Okay, seriously, without lashes, this eyeshadow look does not work, but as soon as you put on lashes, it's like everything, the heavens just open up. I mean, compare this face to when all I had on was just the blue. This looks way better, right? Like, I wish I wore this kind of stuff more often. This eyeshadow combination is like killing me right now. It's so pretty. I just want to stare at it in my mirror constantly. I'm having such a hard time looking at you because I just want to look at my eyeshadow because it's so pretty. Like, so pretty. But this is just not my lifestyle at this point in my life. So I'm gonna enjoy it right now and tell you that you need to wear it because it is amazingly gorgeous. I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July planned if you are in the United States. If not, I hope you have a happy Monday because the 4th of July is on a Monday, so happy Monday to you. If you are playing with fireworks, please be safe. Also, please think of your poor dogs. Last year my dog was like just in a corner crying, so that's okay. So have a happy, safe, and super fun 4th of July, and I will speak to you again very soon. Bye!